Hey, Rawman, how you doing?
Doing good. Thanks for asking, Jarson.
No problem, my dude. Wanna go drink some milk or something?
Sure, it's not like I got a life or anything.
Alright, let's go!
My legs are flipping killing me!
Don't worry, dude. The milk is on top of that gargantuan weed dune. Let's go! Nothing can stop us now! Robin, what is she saying?
How am I supposed to know? Do I look Japanese? Oh!
Robin! No! I'll get you, you vile beast! Ah! Good riddance. Crap, how am I gonna get home? I love anime as much as the next guy. Anime is so big here in the United States that there are some people who are flat out borderline obsessed with it, so much to the point that they'll go out of their way to do some of the most craziest stuff imaginable. But luckily, most sane people aren't like that and actually have a brain. And I happen to be one of those sane people, luckily. The first anime I ever watched was Pokemon back when I was 6. One of my friends introduced me to the show and I fell in love with it. From then on, I started watching other anime like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Sonic X, Kirby Right Back At Ya, and many more. Once I got older, however, as I started watching more anime, I realized that there were common cliches among them that I started to dislike. This video, we'll be talking about some of these common cliches that I'm not a fan of. By the way, I'm going to go in order from least bad to flat out annoying, so keep that in mind.
Okay, it's childish, can't be no homegirls, drop it like the NASDAQ. Move white girls like this coke up my ass crack.
Alright, now this one's a bit of a minor annoyance, but I still think it's worth mentioning, and that is shonen main character stereotypes. If I were to ask you to sum up a character like Goku in 3 words, they'd probably be heroic, gluttonous, and naive. If I were to ask you to describe Luffy in 3 words, it'd probably be heroic, gluttonous, naive. If I were to ask you to describe Naruto in 3 words, they'd probably be heroic, gluttonous, and somewhat naive. You noticing a pattern here? They all share the same STDs. They all share the same basic character traits with only minor differences, and it'd be so cool if they could have a main shonen protagonist that doesn't go by the same old tropes that main shonen characters go by. Other characters in shonen anime also have certain stereotypes set to them as well, like of how there's normally always the overly serious but powerful character, and the perverted character is usually a pedophilic old man like in my favorite anime, Family Guy.
Yeah!
But that could be a video in of itself, and I just wanted to briefly touch on this because I still felt it should be brought up.
Black girls, cause man, fuck it, I'll do either. I love pussy, I love bitches, dude, I should be running Peter in a deep.
So I'm gonna set the record straight. I love fan service when it's done right and when it doesn't get in the way of the plot. There's some anime like Dragon Ball Z Kai and Food Wars where the fan service is prominent but doesn't get in the way all that much. Compare that to an anime like Fairy Tail, however, and that's when it starts getting bad. If I had $1 for every single time some sort of fan service or panty shot was shown, I'd be able to buy myself Happy Meals from every McDonald's in the world. Twice. Okay, it's not that bad, but you get the idea. The problem is that it's either overused or the characters themselves look too proportionally unrealistic for me to even enjoy it. And to be honest with you, I'd much rather an anime have too much fan service with girls that have realistic bodies than have an anime that has less but has girls with freakish looking bodies. Like if your anime is going to have fan service, which most of them do with the exception of the few, at least to make the girls' bodies look human. In fact, let me provide an example of what I mean real quick. This is Lucy from Fairy Tail. She's hot. Really hot. In fact, all the Fairy Tail girls are hot. And one thing you'll notice is that all of the bodies look realistic for the most part. Compare that to an anime like One Piece, however, and the difference is like night and day. Many of the girls in One Piece have large boobs accompanied by waists so small, I'm surprised they're even alive. And would you believe me if I told you that there are animes out there with girls who look even worse? Like, look at this! Who finds this hot? Who finds this sexy? It's like trying to draw a character with a big ass head and a small body. It just doesn't make any sense. It's even worse when little girl characters have them because for one, it doesn't make sense, and also because it's confusing as frick. Another thing that irritates me is when they add traps to this story. If you don't know what a trap is basically a term for a boy that looks like a girl or vice versa. Stuff like this seems to be quite common in anime, and I've always hated this for the simple reason that it's confusing as frick. Like, try to imagine you're seeing this amazingly hot, sexy, juicy, yummy, delicious Imagine you're seeing this amazingly hot anime chick, but then you see a bulge. Like, I know some people who like that, right? But to me, it comes off as distracting, and it makes you wonder what the artists were on when they were designing these characters. Hey boss, I finally completed the design for the girl character. Did you give her a penis? What? You? No, why would I do that? I think a better question is, why didn't you give him a penis? Because it's a girl and not a boy, and I know basic biology.
Over me, my green is where it's supposed to be, your green is in my grocery.
Nosebleeds are the worst aspect of anime, period. Call me a stickler if you will, but anime nosebleeds can just completely ruin a scene for me. Not only is it very unrealistic, but it's also the worst and weirdest way to show a character is horny. I know that they can't show erections in anime for general audiences, but they don't have to show them in order for an obvious person to tell if a character is horny or not. Take Brock from Pokemon, for example. This show is meant for kids, so naturally they're not going to show Brock gaining an erection, but at the same time they're not going to let him have nosebleeds either. So what do? They let him make a fool of himself and have the girl either reject him or have Misty or Max pull him away from the girl by his ear. Now, I'm not saying all anime need to follow this formula, but at the same time, they don't have to use nosebleeds. And apparently the whole nosebleed thing has been a thing in Japanese folklore for quite some time now. I would say I'm surprised, but this is the exact same country that has a restaurant that serves breast milk. I really wish I was joking with that statement, but I'm not. Seriously, look it up. But you know, I guess the nosebleed thing does make sense. I mean, I know for a fact whenever I see a smoking hot girl, I get flung into the air by the blood gushing out of my nose. It's one of the reasons why I quit public school. All in all, while I still love anime for the most part, it's not without its flaws. I haven't even gotten into the problems I have with harem anime yet, which I think is the worst genre of anime out there. But that's a video topic for another day. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate it. Also, big thanks to Rawman for collaborating with me on this video. Seriously, he doesn't like anime at all, and this was really weird for him to do. So go check out his channel. He makes really hilarious videos and has like one of the best laughs I've ever heard from any human on this planet. So yeah, go check him out. And also big thanks to Yellow Syrup and even Lewex for helping me with the script as they helped me make a few changes and stuff, so go check them out as well, and yeah, that's about it. See ya.